in the room. That's exciting. They do. They're just in meetings downstairs. All right. Somebody from the third row is going to come join me. Come on up. This is why we like being competitive in this office, and sometimes you have to bribe our guest gongers. But I did want to do a special shout out to a handful of people in the room. That's going to be kind of led here by Jeff, or not so much, whatever, however you choose.
That's a perfect gong.
That's the perfect. You're not. It's so tiny.
It's so tiny.
Okay.
All right. One of the reasons we wanted to call out Jeff, and there could have been a handful of other people in the room who chose to. Who
I bet. I gotta. I'm sorry. It'll be over in 45 minutes. That's what I was going to tell you. I'll call back in about 45 minutes.
Okay. I don't know how to mute. So great. My people are here. It's all good. Jeff, you want to come gong us in again? All right. The reason I wanted to have Jeff gong us in is because we had a special guest yesterday. We had a big event yesterday, actually, where over 200 people RSVP'd, and we had about, I don't know, 160, 170 people in the room, including leadership. Jeff Glover came and poured into us in terms of all the things that he's doing right now to win business. And I'm going to share some of that. But I will tell you, before I came to the Southwest office, Jeff Glover was a name I heard every once in a while, right? There are a core group in this office who have followed him and learned from him. And the business that comes out of this office, I think a tip of the hat to that man, makes a difference, because this office showed up for that. And if we implement one tiny little bit of what we heard yesterday in that room, we will keep being on top and in front of that leaderboard. So shout out to Jeff, Tina, Alex, Mindright, who else goes on a regular basis that I'm not mentioning? Oh, Don Shipley's, just you guys, the attention and the energy that you put into sharpening your axe. And if anybody was watching Charlie swing that axe around, gosh, I hope it wasn't sharp yesterday. Good thing you didn't drop it. But hats off to you guys, and thank you so much. And Jeff, thank you for gonging us in. Appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna start off like we do every day, every Tuesday, with our mission, vision, values. We've got a handful of things actually to cover. This is the second to last update on Monday. If you guys haven't seen these pictures, 2019 to 2023, we have grown exponentially every year. And the reason we point this out is because when this group gets together, the contribution that it can make to the community is outstanding. The serving community has grown out of the efforts that happen in Red Day, and we're getting geared up. It is a week from Thursday that we will all be out in the community doing our part, right? So we're 172 and counting. That is 30% of our total population. It's going to be a remarkable day. The communities that we share with get a great amount out of us being there, but I will say the bigger impact it has is on the people who go to serve. If you need a reset, if you need to understand why we're in this business, sign up for this day if you haven't already. It's an amazing day. There's still opportunities available at Farm and at Franklin Little League. So I look forward to seeing everybody here. Just a reminder, office is closed. Okay, so staff all goes to participate, leadership all goes to participate in this day, and your key fob will open if you have an appointment or need to be here. But okay, the second thing I want to share about, do you guys remember back a few months ago, we asked you all to be on the lookout for a survey from Journal Sentinel, Best Workplace. Do you remember that? Yep. Okay. So back in the day, 15 years ago, actually, the Journal Sentinel started to ask businesses if who they liked working. Sorry, let me try again. Ready? 15 years ago, Journal Sentinel started to ask people what they liked about their employers and what place they felt was the best to work for, right? So They have looked at this research for over 15 years, 18 years they started going through this, and they discovered that places that people wanted to work at, it's gonna be no surprise, but they tended to do better than places that were rough work environments, right? So about 18, 20 years ago, there was this big push to make your workplace environment a better place for everybody who participated. So then they started asking people, what's your experience like? How are you doing? And they've gotten information that helps prove top workplaces outperform average organizations. So this is a big deal. And we showed this because historically, this organization has outperformed. We've outperformed the MLS. We've had amazing results. These are our 2023 results. Over 1.9 billion closed sales volumes in 1 year alone. 35%, we outperformed the market, on and on and on, right? This is 2023, good results for 2023. Now we're looking at 2024, we roll into 2024, and you guys have seen this. It is a story worth shouting from the market tops. I talked to my coach this morning, and he looked at all of our trends and he said, you know, there's some offices that are up, but consistently over this first quarter, the KW Milwaukee offices are outpacing even the KW trends. So hats off to the people in this room in Keller Williams North Shore, Lake Country, Inno, inclusive of Prestige. KW does something really right. And when we looked at the results, when the results came out from the Journal Sentinel Top 2024 workplaces, we got the #1 position for training and education. Guys. So the reason I wanted to call this out is because I talked to a lot of agents across the market, right? And a lot of them were like, yeah, but the training. I'm like, yeah, but the training, you guys, right? We want to equip you to go make a difference in the world. The other reason I wanted to call this out is because there are people in this room who participate in training regularly, right? So it's one thing to sit in here, but when you're in a class, you're engaged with your instructor. Often your instructors are people sitting next to you right now. So it's not just us talking to you or training you, it's each other lifting each other up. And it's so much a part of the KW culture that it really truly is. Hats off to you guys. I'm really, really proud of you. And we're gonna be making some great graphics so that you can share this. We're gonna have signature blocks. We want everybody to be able to be proud of and share this story. And it's also something that you can use when you're working with your clients because you have the opportunity to stay best of business. And it's wonderful when it's validated by somebody else. And it's not a real estate award. This is an organizational award. Okay, so a little funny anecdote that Charlie shared this morning at this morning's meeting. You know, he's hosting the locker room series, right? I'm trying to get speakers in to pour into this group. And Quick Trip, right through. So I regularly go there and get my gas, and you know, sometimes I'll get a Hershey bar. But one of the things that they do is training. They're also known for their training. So we called out there and said, hey, would you like to come talk to our group? Thought it would be a slam dunk. What did they say? They said no. Why? Because they compete with us and they want the top spot. They're like, no, you're good. You're good. So, you know, I don't know. We'll reach out and see if they would like us to come train them, right? Because that's our culture.
We have to get a Hershey bar somewhere else.
Yeah, right. I just signed up for rewards too. I was kind of bummed out. Anyway, so hats off to you. Great work. Thank you guys for, this is your voice, right? You guys vote, you do it. So really, really appreciate the standouts. Okay, good. Ready to move on? Welcome Marisha Harris. She was yeah, she is amazing. Referral from Keisha Johnny's has big plans to grow her business. Just a reminder, if you know somebody in the business who would like to come, she was at Coldwell, couldn't get the training, shocking. No, sorry, not about Coldwell, just about her schedule and all that good stuff. But right now people are looking for homes. They're looking for places where there's good community, where there are people who kind of wrap their arms around you. If you know people that are struggling, trying to get their their business off the ground, talk to them, share what your success is. be as honest about your experience as possible, because that's what people are gonna come into, right? And we thank her for the referral. And now Defender Dawn is coming up. Yes, she is. Come on up. We're gonna flip over to compliance.
Some music playing when she.
I know.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Just a quick, I don't have as much last week with a lot of compliance stuff for you guys. So this week, just a quick reminder, we've had some calls to the compliance line about compensation and some different things that work. And we actually had a call that came up last weekend, not this past weekend. Where after a seller accepted an offer, they thought, well, actually, maybe I don't want to offer buyer agent commission. So just a reminder that it's really important to have these conversations with your sellers when you're having the appointment, that what does this look like? What is the lawsuit? What are your choices? What are the implications? What are we offering? And having that conversation up front, just to avoid future issues. We don't want them to be upset after the fact. So just a reminder, I think you guys all know that the compensation that's offered in MLS is binding. So if you're offering 2.4%, that's what you've got advertised, and it hasn't said something else in the offer to purchase itself, that's what is being offered. So we're not negotiating commission after accepted offer. Sellers can't change that compensation that they're offering the selling agent after that contract is signed, unless that there's something different in the offer to purchase. Whatever they're offering is what they're offering. So if there's any questions about that come up, if you want, how to talk through that with your client, always feel free to reach out to compliance if your seller has questions or any of that. We're happy to chat. So that's all I've got today. Any questions? Awesome. Straightforward. All right. Thanks, Don. I believe Kathleen is gonna come up and share about tech, all about tech.
So who all was at Glover yesterday? Awesome, love to see it. So one thing that he really drilled home for a good chunk of the day was about content creation, right? And how we need to make sure that we are on top of our content creation games, not only when it comes to marketing a listing, but just every day promoting our brand and making sure all that's cohesive. So we want to also talk about content creation, how you can utilize our marketing concierge to do so. So first up, we do have the 2024 farmers markets. If you haven't seen these yet or pushed them out to your spheres yet, we do have the Milwaukee area and the Madison area. If anybody is working with Madison area clients, you can send them that as well. And then once again, you can make these into 12 direct campaigns. So you sign up through our KW Realty MKE website, go to the marketing concierge tab. You'll see the 12 direct campaigns, and they're also available in smart plans for you to email your database. And the social media assets are on our KW Realty MKE website as well. So when you start talking about content creation and branding, you're really looking for consistency. So how great would if somebody got your postcard, your email, and saw your Facebook post about it, right? You're just staying top of mind constantly. So this is the downloadable content that you can use for social media. If you wanted to scan that, it'll take you right to our website or to the Google Drive, so that you can download all of that social media content. But again, you can find it on the KW Realty MKE website. Cool. So this tech training this week, Thursday at 11 a.m., we're going to be going through some of the command updates that have released recently. And actually something that they just released yesterday is KWIQ. So this is the AI that lives inside of Command now. You can chat with it. You can help it. You can use it to create content. You can also use it to dive more into systems and models that we have here at KW. So we have, we'll talk about in training education, but there's an opportunity for Quantum Leap this month. And if you're like, what is Quantum Leap? You can type it into KWIQ and it'll give you a whole rundown of the program. So it has a lot of colorisms, but also can do more than that as well. So we'll be going through some of that on training this Thursday at 11. And then last but not least, reminder about our social media branding. So again, content creation. These are gonna be in-person workshops over at the TOSA office beginning Thursday, the 16th. And it's gonna be a 30-minute kind of training and then 30 minutes worth of a workshop. So really the whole goal is for you to leave this with a social media piece created and in place on your social media pages. Okay, so highly encourage everybody to attend that Thursdays at the Innovation Office, starting later this month or May, which is tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, so as you might be hearing a trend, right? So we have this group that meets before our team meeting. It's called Achieve. And it's workshop style. You come to that, you learn a little bit, you have the opportunity to practice, and then you leave with an actual thing accomplished. Either you've learned a script, you've put together a piece, a marketing piece, a plan, whatnot. You see that on our social media branding, right? So this will be kind of the only training left where you're gonna get talked at. And frankly, we're gonna try to talk at you less and have you interact and hear from each other more. Because again, in our effort to help you sharpen your axe and go to work, cut those trees down, right? You learn from each other best and you learn when you do. So if we say, it's at Inno, it's just 10 minutes up the road, go to the Inno office. If it'll be here, come represent, we'll bring people here, right? To make sure that you are leaving with implementable actions. And I just want to take a little bit of a dive into Jeff's presentation yesterday because the first half was mindset, and we'll touch on that a little bit. The second half was some implementable information. So I did see a lot of hands that go up. Before I dive into some of the notes I have, does anybody have a takeaway that has stayed with them from that event? Charisse.
I really enjoyed him diving into the disc profiles. And I thought the exercise was pretty genius. And so I know that I've taken disc before, Tony's taken disc before, but not all of the team has taken disc before. And so that's something that I'm going to implement. It's just having everybody on the team take disc, not only so that we understand each other, as you know, like working with the team, it's a family dynamic, but also so it's applicable to when we're working with buyers and sellers.
So what she's referring to is that at one point he talked about you want to mirror and match the person that you're sitting next to, and the better that you're able to do that, the quicker you build rapport, the more likely you're going to get that business, because people do business with those they know, like, and trust. The DISC, right? 4 personality styles. And if you study that really well, you have an idea of who you're talking to, and you know if you're supposed to talk fast and kind of bottom line it versus be super social and kind of talk slow and all those things, right? So he gave a great example. Does anyone remember the example of of his favorite question to help identify who you're talking to, what style you're talking to?
Tell me about your house.
Tell me about your house. Yes, exactly. Tell me about your house. How does a D answer that question?
2 beds, 1 bath, so let's keep moving.
2 beds, 2 baths. What else do you want to know, right? I, what's that?
Oh my god, my house is a mess. I got a graduation party for my kid.
Yeah, and you're gonna come over and see it all, right? Social, little fun things about themselves, right? How about a C?
Square foot, yeah. Square foot.
Exactly,
Detail.
detail. The heater's not quite working. I think it's a 97% efficiency, but we put it in April. Wait. No, it might have been May. I have the paperwork right here, right? Who am I missing? GIS. What about an S? Social, right? He didn't give an example for an S, right?
Great living room, our kitchen's really good for entertaining. We have
Had
great
all these parties, right?
walkable, whatever.
Yes, exactly. So I think when you think about those kinds of trainings, if you just go and sit, and we talk about this, right? It's edutainment. You're gonna learn, but are you gonna walk away and put it into practice? So he gave some ideas of how you can retain and put it into practice. What was his Monday, Wednesday, Friday suggested cadence for agents to learn new scripts?
Oh, the chanting and is you talking about that? Writing chants. and
Write it down,
role play?
right? Monday, you spend time writing it down, write your questions down, write your answers down. And now is a perfect time to remember that we've got new dialogues around scripting, around how you're gonna get paid, around what happens if a seller says, I don't have to pay a buyer anymore, right? We have new answers to that aren't part of our fabric yet. The more you write it down, the more it becomes part of you, and you're not taken off guard so much. The second one, he said chanting,
Chanting.
which made me super uncomfortable, you guys. I'm just thinking like a crypt and, you know, candles, and maybe that says more about me than him, but I do think repetition of the script, repetition, repetition. So you write it on Monday. Wednesday, you spend time speaking it over and over and over in words, or you come to script practice on Tuesday, Jeremy, right?
Yeah, and he admitted how chanting is scary, because he was doing it by the dumpster when he was early in his career.
Correct.
Outside, so nobody could hear him.
Super uncomfortable, because you're talking to no one, right? It's hard enough to pick up the phone, but if you internalize that, picking up the phone is not that big a deal. Relatively speaking, right? Last event, Friday, what do? What's that last piece that locks it in? Role play, right. So, do you guys have role play partners? Nate Sneed, do you have a role play partner?
Multiple,
Awesome, and how many times did you have to ask for role play partners?
3 or 4.
3 or 4, okay. You guys, role playing, when somebody asks you to role play, don't even think about it, just say yes. Or dive into the role play, right? Because the reality is, your colleagues will know how to help you get better, and you will know how to help them get better, which feels horrible, because like, oh, I'm gonna sound stupid in front of you. When I was, I asked Jeff Nevin a question, our guest honor, Jeff, right? He came in, I was like, well, how would you handle this objection? And it was for recruiting, and I was like, oh, I don't even know if I should say this, because I'm supposed to be really, really good at bringing people in. I've done this for 4 years, what is he gonna think? He's gonna think I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't think he thought about me at all, frankly. I think he gave me a really good question to follow up with my agent, and the next person I talked to, I got an appointment out of it. People don't think about you very much, I promise. So use them, help each other get better, okay? Okay, good. I'm gonna dive in. Anything else that we need to talk about that you guys experienced that you wanna, because I've got stuff and we can dive into that. What was one thing that you stood out, or are we good to go through slides? Because we're happy not talking. Yes.
I will say, I really liked, I shared this in our team meeting, he shared a couple examples of when he started and things that his coach was challenging him to do. And not that he didn't have doubts, but he just blindly did what he was told to do. And it's like, it clearly has been working well for him, you know what I mean? And so,
Yes.
just thinking about, he gave us the 2-1 something, I forget like the name of the document, but it was a checklist. And it's like, just do this checklist.
Yes.
Like,
Just
there's
do
parts of it that might be uncomfortable, and that's probably good for you if it's uncomfortable.
Or just contact
So,
25 people a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's a good reminder for all of us in this room, right? Like, first of all, you're looking at somebody who's practiced for decades, right? So to go from, you know, brand new person to that, there's gonna be a learning curve. You're not gonna get it all right all the time. And the other piece, again, along those lines of people don't think much about you, you don't know everything, and that's okay. Try new things, right? Try them and see if they may stick. And because they're new, they're going to feel uncomfortable. And the first way we judge something that we're uncomfortable with is, oh, that won't work. And then we try it once and we're nervous about it, and everyone can tell we're nervous about it, and we don't get the result we want, and then it doesn't work, right? One of the things that I've talked to a handful of people in here, make your decision, do the thing. You don't get to evaluate for 3 months at least. Do the thing over and over and over again. Get feedback, get better, evaluate, then ask people, what can I be doing better? How can I adjust? You're in it for a long career, not just a great year, even a great day, right? So thank you for sharing.
Another thing we practiced this morning from this talk yesterday was asking 2 or 3 questions from a question that a seller presents to you, or a buyer, any client. So if they ask you a question, just going 2 to 3 questions in response to that.
So tell me
really,
more about that.
well, you come in Tuesday at 9:30, you could have seen a lot of examples, but we did demonstrate well how effective it was. We did start out with like social media, like we like to say, oh yeah, we use social media, but then drilling down on that, like what's the client really want to see it on? Do they want to see if they're on Facebook or they're on Instagram, or what your plan is for all 2 or 3 platforms, whatever.
Yeah.
But drilling down on that and getting an actual answer.
And diving into that, that's a Monday project, right? When you're writing scripts, put an objection out there, put a conversation that you've had, ask a question, imagine the answer, ask what your next question would be. If you don't kind of prep yourself for that, then you're off guard, right? I think a chief went through that this morning. How do you ask questions over and over and over again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good thing, yes, all of these things, whether you knew them or not, perhaps you forgot about them. So this is Charlie and the Axe that made me super nervous. I think a handful of people got nervous about that. Super full room, great results, right? The people who showed up in the room are our top performers, our top teams. These are people that want to continue getting better, and they know that one of the best ways to do that is to learn from people who are doing this at a very high level. And one of the things he talked about that I don't think we hear enough of, because we very rarely say, you need to do this, right? You get to design your business in our world. This is the place where entrepreneurs thrive. The thing we know is that if you are a listing agent, your business improves. So if you are not thinking about being a listing agent, I want you to think about it. And I want you to think about what that means for you and for your business. Talk to your rainmaker, talk to me. If you're very, very comfortable with buyers, might be time to think about being a listing agent. And the 5 things that will help you get there: secure your listing, 4 things: secure your listing, market the listing, sell the listing, and then market the sale. And actually, there's Katie's checklist right there. There's a 2-to-1 checklist after you market the sale. So you guys know this. Why do you want to be a selling agent, a listing agent? Why do you want to list? Tina.
Average 19.5 hours as opposed to 38 point whatever hours with a buyer.
You got it, you got it. You exponentially speed up your selling cycle.
You control your schedule.
You control your schedule, you get more time.
Yeah, 2-to-1 formula, so you should be able to generate 2 leads out of every listing.
Correct,
Every listing should be viewed as a
Your
lead
listing
gen
should
tool.
be-
yes, your listing should have babies, and actually, every once in a while it sticks, you guys.
Listings have babies too.
It also brings more GCI.
Brings more GCI, correct? I don't know why it's not, oh, there we go. Okay, all listings have babies, and the ratio is 12-2, it's not 6-1. Because the 2 pieces of business you want back are a little bit different, right? One's referral and one is a repeat client. So the more listings you have, the more capacity you have to get in front of people, the more opportunity you have to build your business faster, add more people to your database, right? And make more money. Control your time. Okay. These are the things that their team focuses on to have the kind of success that they have. They spend a ton of time trying to set the appointment, but once they set the appointment, it's not done. In fact, he made a statement that kind of made me a little nervous, but you want to set the appointment 2 or 3 days out so you have the opportunity to build a relationship before you go to meet with them. And we'll talk about it in a little bit, but they're Googling you. They know all about you before you walk in that door, right? So you want to, he had a process where he reached out to that person that he set an appointment with 5 times, texted, phone call, drop something off, do an interview over the phone. His 5-step process made that time, the likelihood of keeping that appointment went up, right? So if we think of return on investment on your time, systemize that 5 process, and now you know if the person's gonna ghost you or not. And you haven't gone on an appointment for no reason. And you've built rapport. Market the listing, right? And he talked an awful lot about not just marketing the listing, but marketing your success, your team's success, how you show up. That's what he called institutional marketing. So if you're on a team, get their stats. If you're not on a team, you're on my team, get my stats. If I'm not around, get all of KW stats. You are a KW team. You guys have a success story to sell that will make a difference with your buyers. Okay, I'm sorry, with your listers, your sellers. Okay, and then the third point was that he talks about so many people in this industry, and I can absolutely underscore this based on all the top people I talk to. They don't want to be salespeople. They don't want to spend time diving into their sales skills. You guys, people want strong, confident salespeople. It's okay to know how to sell, and it is a skill. You don't, I mean, maybe you come in the world as a persuasive person, but to be able to get from A to Z naturally and feel comfortable, there's a skill set behind it. So know your numbers, know what you need to do to improve your conversion rates and practice it. That's where your communication styles went in, so you can mirror match well. And then make sure once you have the sale down that you're using that to get more business, right? We talked all about that yesterday. And then he had some really good kind of nuggets that I'll just go over really quickly. But one of the things that he talked about, and this was particularly for new agents, because if you've been in this business for any length of time, you know that this is true. But the person who can talk to the most people the most comfortably is going to win at a high level, at the highest level. If you're waiting for people to come talk to you, or you're hiding behind your computer screen or your social media, it's going to be challenging. So get out there, talk to people, fail forward, all good. Good? The other thing he said, if I did not go on an appointment today seriously, what did I accomplish? And I have to say, I came back and I was like, oh yeah, if I didn't set an appointment today seriously, what did I accomplish? And I had to go back and I was like, no, it wasn't set an appointment, it was go on an appointment. So sometimes you need to set 2 or 3 appointments to go on an appointment, right? All goes back to lead gen, and this is our job, this is what we do.
Yeah, one
Maximize,
thing about that too,
Yeah.
that phrase, because
yeah,
I can hear like, it feels
Yeah.
for him, that was 250 business days a year, so there's 250 appointments.
yes,
So that is relative to, like, some people want to go on 4 appointments a month or whatever the
Correct.
number is. But for
Yes.
him, that's why it was every day, because there's 250 working days.
yes, thank you for clarifying. That is for the people who want to be, who have the time and energy and interest in being top at the top.
I know in the past too, he's clarified that a little bit more, saying that going on a showing is also considered an appointment, not just a listing appointment, so.
Perfect. And to Jeremy's point, that has to do with knowing your numbers and the money that you want to make at the end of the year. It's all about your conversion rate. So if you know you need to have X amount of closings, right? Then you need to do the math to find out how many appointments you need to have. Then you need to figure out how many days of the year you're gonna be working. And then you need to schedule your appointments throughout the year accordingly. And if anybody's like, what is she talking about? No worries, talk to one of us and we'll sit down and do the math with you, okay? Because it's how this is, and this is what Tina was talking about. When you look at your time, your return on investment, your return on time, the average buyer transaction is 38.5 hours. It's almost a full 40-hour week, start to finish. Average seller, 19 hours, half of that.
And that 38.5 might be really low right now, like, I'm sure there's people that we spend 4 hours in just one day. By the time you show them, write offers, all follow up,
You got it.
countering, doing all that stuff, like, yeah.
And this is why sales skills matter. These are the numbers for people who dial in on their selling skills. If you just show up because you're good at, because you're good-hearted and these people called you and they're your friends, maybe that's gonna take longer and the market takes longer. So there are different environments in which that's gonna extend and contract. You have control of what you have control of. And if you hone your sales skills, you have more control of that time outside of the market, outside of your relationship, right?
Yeah, because that 19 hours for a listing is at a time you decided on, ahead of time, you showed up,
You got it.
it was predetermined, it's not Friday at 5, finding out at 5:30, you gotta go to a house an hour away or
Right.
half hour away.
The energy here is like, I don't mean to be coming on with a hammer. I see like people are like, oh my gosh, right? We do want you in this for a long, long time. If any of this is making you unsettled, it's okay. There are ways through that. Remember, #1 training environment, #1 training place in the area. We can get you through this. We got you. And there are a bunch of people who don't know this. They're doing the same thing they've done, right? So you guys have absolutely a leg up. Okay, and this one I thought was really, really key, and maybe this will help kind of feel the room a little bit. Great agents have the capacity to follow up even when there's no answer, right? So somebody ghosts you, somebody doesn't, all of the things, it's okay. It's not about you. It's about them and their life. Keep following up, keep following up, keep following up. Because at one point, at some point, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, I do need to sell my home. And it's on their time, always on their time. So you put yourself in front of them, you're golden. Keep putting yourself in front of them. Good? Good. Do we need to like just shake it off? Good. That's so good.
And to follow up with value, I mean, that was one of the things that, you know, that he said, it wasn't just like, hey, I'm just following up with you. It was like, hey, another house was listed close to you that was like yours. It was very, very specific
Yeah,
as to why he was reaching out, so.
correct.
And I have to imagine that would help you as a salesperson, which you are, that, like, to give you a reason to call.
Yep.
Would make it feel less awkward.
100%. And if I know anything about the group of people in this room, the group of people in this office, they like to talk to people. They like to know what's going on in people's business and their world and their families. It's a good reason to talk to people, and you guys have a great connection for them to help. So lots of ways to bring value. Yes. So the last thing, just to share, and I touched on it already, your clients are all doing research on you before you show up, right? Where's the number one way they do research? Social media, right? Social media. So it's not, it used to be a like maybe they did or they'll look me up afterwards. It's not that anymore. They're looking you up in front of. So we talk about it a lot. Find your tribe, because they're the people who are going to be referring and doing repeat business. And the bigger your business gets, the more your opportunity to appeal to people that might not be intimate members of your tribe. So be really thoughtful about how you go out with things, right? Especially in an election year. Because you're talking to people who are not in conversation with you yet, right? They're talking to your social media posts. They know what you're engaged with. They know what you like. They know what you don't. And oftentimes we just need this much to disqualify somebody, right? Or you need this much to say, oh, I'm in, I'm done. I'm gonna invite you over to see if what I've seen is enough. And you better look like you show up, right? You better have that same energy. I'm talking to myself now in my social media presence. But you guys, they know. So be careful with that, right? Election years, they're so fun. So many opportunities. So good. All right. Just a little reminder, your impressions matter. All of the ways we make impressions, they all matter. So one of the things I love about him is that he gave us actionable things. And back in the day, he did what he called a 75 hard for business. Y'all are familiar with that workout, 75 hard, right? Okay. So no, I see some people who, okay, so 75 hard came out of the fitness industry. They said, you do these things for 75 days, you're gonna change your life. You gotta work out twice. One of them has to be outside in the sunshine. You have to read 10 pages. You have to follow a diet, any diet, but you have to follow it for 75 days. There's no break day. There's one other thing.
Take a picture.
Oh, you have to take a progress picture and you have to have a bunch of water. Right. If anyone wants to do that physically, Jeff out of the Lake Country office does them back to back all the time. He takes off on his vacation days, right? So then Jeff Glover thought, well, heck, we should do this for business because it's all about consistency. You can learn all the things in the world, but if you're not consistent with it, if you lead gen one day a year, you're not gonna make a difference. If I eat well one day a year, I'm not gonna make a difference. I've tried it, trust me. Flip is true. If I do poorly one day a year, it's not gonna ruin things, right? If I miss one day of lead gen, it's not gonna completely ruin me, but you gotta kind of get on that train. So they put together a 75 hard for business, right? So that we could learn to be efficient and consistent. So if the Glover thing was an interesting, and it got the wheels turning, and you want to build your big business, and you're not quite sure how to do it, this is a great way to start. Talk to Ben or Nate, their teams did 75 hard. Did any other teams try the 75 hard for business when Glover introduced it? Okay, so when Glover introduced it, it was $1,000 buy-in. And you got your money back at the end of the 75 days if you actually did it. So there was a little skin in the game to do it, and they struggled with it. Nobody on their teams made it. And Nate was gonna talk to us about it, bless you. Did you do it, John?
What?
The 75 card business?
No, but I did the real 75 hard.
Okay. The real, not this, okay. All right, so, what we're looking at here is an edited version that will help you be consistent, right? And help you implement some of this work. 10 voice-to-voice or face-to-face contacts per day. Here's the caveat, you cannot count the contact more than once in that 75 days. So you can't call a person, you can't call the same 10 people 5 days a week and have that count. Text per day, cannot, same rules apply, 10 of those. 1 CMA sent per day. Taylor, I see you smiling, how'd it go?
I quit.
Quit?
This is not the version that you pay for.
This is, Keller grabbed this and said, we're gonna make this accessible to agents. I don't think too many people were successful in Glover's thing. It was pretty intense.
This is it, I'd have made, I got my money back.
Okay, well, hold on to that, right? 1 open house per week. 2 people added to your database per day, 1 agent referral contact per day, 1 personalized card sent per day, and 10 pages of a book has to be sales or business related. Okay? 75 business hard. Now, for anybody who's interested, we're gonna be rolling it out May 13th. We've counted 75 business days, takes you through August 25th. The way it's gonna work is that you have to do these activities 5 days out of the 7 for each week. So that counts for 75 days. Track daily, open to all for bragging rights, $100 buy-in, and whoever completes it at the end gets the jackpot. If no one completes it at the end, it's whoever had the most days. Okay, so there's a little skin in the game for those who are interested. Good? So exciting. Who's signing up, Taylor?
Call me out like that.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. All right. We'll talk about it again. You have the opportunity. I have handouts that I'll send out that remind people what the activities are. I'd love to see a big crowd in that group. I'm super excited about it. And here we are, insights for the week. We have another week of information for you. Average of 410, listing price to accepted offer is 103%. So you can see how that's going. And we'll get more and more, we'll share this, we'll continue to look at it week by week so that if there's something that spikes out, if we see inspections come back, appraisal gaps go away, any of those things, you guys will be able to act on it immediately, okay? Okay, awesome. May, as Kathleen pointed out, starts tomorrow. So we've got a super full calendar, and you'll see in the little bottom corner here, James Shaw, familiar name in this office, but we'll talk about him soon. Tomorrow, Scott Kloss is going to be hosting 2 versions of the Golden Hand Off, right? So one is how do you work with people who are exiting, and one version is how do you exit and get money from your database still. So these are both Zooms, both available, hosted by Scott. He's done this for quite a while. People get really good information, and there are quite a few people in our environment who have implemented the plan. So if you're interested in the Golden Handoff, how many people do you all know who are leaving this industry, right? I know that I've talked to a bunch of people who are like, you know what, if things don't go well in July, I can just retire, right? Because they're that close. So be talking to those people. And then May 8th, Emily Fair is going to be doing some email marketing for us. She's going to remind us that that's still out there and still an opportunity. She does a really good job at it. That's going to be at the North Shore office. Our shred event is coming up. If anyone has any questions on what that is, Kathleen has all the answers for you. It's Saturday, May 11th from 9 to noon. Okay. And then our wealth group this month meets on the 22nd. Do you have any guests for that this time?
We are working on, yes, to be determined.
Okay, awesome.
We do have a hard, well, I take that back. We have a hard money lender that'll be there. So if you are looking into hard money lending and want some options, we've got some great guys to connect you with.
And if you've never heard that phrase before, come and you'll learn what a hard money lender does. So, and then finally, you guys have, we introduced this last week. There is an opportunity to support Cindy Costs, I think, is that
Who's costs, Cindy K.
Cindy K. Still very much in the hearts and minds of our people and would love an infusion. She's got some treatments that are coming up that look really viable and interesting. So come support that Saturday, May 18th.
And if you have any auction items or raffle items that you are willing to donate, that would be amazing as well.
Nice, nice. And then finally, June 5th, James Shaw is gonna be doing our next kind of big event for us. If you haven't been to a James Shaw event, you always leave with really good actionable stuff. I would encourage you to join us for that. It's gonna be down at our new favorite venue, War Memorial. Get there early so you get parking, and then the notes, MRE notes. So, good? Good?
What-
Yes.
Just to nitpick the parking thing, the parking's actually really good there, so don't worry about the parking.
Yeah.
You still should come early, but I just wanted, because sometimes those places down there are hard to park,
That's true.
but the War Memorial is actually really easy.
Yeah, it's great, and it looks beautiful when you're in the room. So, okay, now we're everybody's favorite part. What do we got coming up? Looking at Ed, because he always has a list. Yeah, Catherine, what do you got?
For Mandy Miller. She has a listing going live on Thursday, Brown Deer, 3 bedrooms, 1 full bath, completely remodeled, bath. Long list of updates goes live on Thursday, I think I said that already. Price is $24.99. If you have any questions, please call her, she does have, like I said, a long list of updates.
Brown Deer, did you?
$2,499. I'll take 7.
249,000.
You said 249.
Did I really?
Yeah, all of us are like, sold.
I
Okay,
get nervous when I do these.
that's okay.
Great job, thanks, Catherine. Yes, Steph.
Menominee Falls, 3 bed, 2 bath, Colonial, probably around like 425. Have it out of state, accepted offer, so they can get on the market by May 15th, and need to close by June 20th, so.
Motivated seller.
I'll have it probably next week.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
We have 2. We have a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Brookfield. It's gonna go live on Thursday for $575. And then we have another one going live. It's on 88th and Earl, I believe. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. For $189-ish, I think he said.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have a one party in Brookfield with a pool, if anybody wants a tri-level for like $625 with a pool, like sunny slope and the freeway-ish. So like southern Brookfield.
Got it. Right as you started, I saw 3 hands.
Is it in ground or above ground?
In ground.
Does it
Like
have
a
slide?
1 acre lot too.
Is it heated?
Diving board.
Yeah. Used to have a diving board.
Is the house updated?
Yeah, kind of.
What does updated mean to
Yeah.
Were you in my classes, Wayne, or were we just talking questions?
I don't know.
Would it have granite cover?
Okay, I saw some other hands go up. Who got, yes, Nikki.
I've got a listing in Delayed right now, going live Saturday in Wauwatosa. 3 bed, 1.5 bath, 1,700 square feet, Cape Cod, 2.5 car detached garage. This will be in there Saturday morning, 339.9.
Catherine?
I'm gonna go to 2012 build, just under 3/4 of an acre. 3 bedroom, 2 full baths, ranch. It is coming soon in May. Price is gonna be $575.
Alex.
They have one going live Thursday, pictures will be up tomorrow, it's delayed, it's in Caledonia, 335, 3 bed, 2 bath. Nice updates.
In Grand Pool.
It's got a lake like pretty close by, I forget. the name of it.
Davenport.
Michigan, I think.
Big lake. Never heard that. Carly.
One on the 40th and Congress, 4 beds, 1.5 bath, probably list at 170. They'll likely go on the market at the end of May, depends on when updates finish. And then off of 79th and Capitol, 3 beds, 2 bath, probably list at 190. So that'll go on the market, I think May 15th, that's the date.
Okay. James.
Does anyone have a condo buyer, like lakefront brewery area? I'm not gonna tell you a lot.
Oh, tell us.
But no one's gonna buy it, so I mean, it's all right, it's a nice condo, 2 bed, 1.5 bath, 3-line river home. Right into those ones that you see like on Commerce, but it's actually like on the other side of the building, so you see the river. It has a private 2-car garage, about 1,300 square feet, pretty nice. It was probably about 400,000.
Are they the ones like up on the hill a little bit, or?
Yeah, they're kind of like going up that way. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just, I think it'd be north of like.
And how much are the
Yes, Shanika.
Have an investment opportunity, needs to be flipped, 4-bedroom bungalow, going for 85. I just told hush. No,
You're not told to hush before the meeting, keep talking.
where is it off of 28th and Fairmount? So going live in June, cleaning it all out.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Zachariah Huey has one going live this week. Wait, going live this week. It's in the scene. It's 4325 Victory Avenue. I don't think it's been listed before, so I don't have anything about it other than the price that's 163. I'm guessing it's a kind of a traditional family home.
Okay, awesome. One last question. I am getting asked on a very regular basis, who can help right now with showings and open houses, and that I see Jordan, I've got Jordan on my list, yes. Yes, okay. This row, okay. If you are interested in being one of those regular, let me know, because there are people who are putting stuff on our internal page and they're not getting response. They're putting, and I know it's hard to see, those are, sometimes we miss those. They're using showing time, sometimes that doesn't get out there. But we want to make connections and we want our people to get the help they need. So if you're on either side, you need help or you have time to give help and you want to, talk to me. We'll get you connected. All right, you are released to the wilds. Go have an amazing afternoon. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you. And can someone do a showing for Carly today, 3:30? Do it.
I mean, we can go later. Okay, maybe it's on, I know it's on 54th Street.
It was related to showing. But yeah, I'm gonna do showings. I usually post, you know, things that are showing I don't see coming through sure. There is the app that, yeah. I was trying to download it, but I didn't see it. Okay, I will talk to our tech people and see if there's an update that needs to happen. Okay. Sure, it should be working with something. Okay, I'll try it again, because I got stuck in one spot with it. Okay, so people are posting something like this too, or, because I usually just do it with Facebook, so generally people, when they're busy, they don't look to see who's posted the same available, they're like, who can help me? As a matter of fact, Charlie literally just said, you can do showing for a section. Yeah, so. Yeah, I would do it. You might want to talk to her and get her, your tag, you know, the tag texted, ready, so that, that's. Yeah, wherever they need it. Okay, thank you. They're probably, thank you. Tomorrow, so they're probably.
The only one I've heard is the one who's just.
So I'll have her reach out to you.
Still,
No, she wants to. Yes, please, please.
We're not doing
Why did she look at it?
I think she's okay. Yeah. Well, not so bad.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's.